comes to housing, we're setting a 50% target so that new developers will have to build 50% of the homes in those developments that are genuinely affordable for local residents. We're going to campaign for a living rent to make sure that people aren't paying more than a third of their average income, a third of the average income in Cambridge, on their rents. And we're going to make sure the City Council here is ready for the new housing and planning bill being passed by the national government, so that tenants are supported against unlawful evictions, and so that they've also got the power to go and claim rent repayment orders from those landlords when the accommodation is not up to a high standard. When it comes to transport, we're the only party locally with realistic, bold plans to deal with Cambridge's problems with congestion and air pollution. We want to phase in a fair congestion charge at the same time as improving public transport, so that people have got those options for getting in and out of the city with public transport or by active forms of transport. We want to see safe, segregated cycling and walking routes around the city that are interconnected, and we want to use the City Deal investment to create a modern, effective and clean transport system integrated with rail and bus that also allows people to make those active forms of transport. Part of our manifesto here is also about ensuring that everyone shares in the city's success. We want to invest to end the high levels of fuel poverty in Cambridge, so that we end the scandal of excess winter deaths in the UK and bring down people's fuel bills. We're going to offer support to people on welfare reform so that those on low incomes can continue to live in Cambridge. And we're going to support the City Council as they roll out more credit unions and make credit unions more available to people, so that those people on low incomes have got access to cheap, affordable lending. And we're going to make sure that even if the national government won't do it, we will take action locally on climate change. Developing countries have got an obligation to those poorer and developed countries have got an obligation to developing and poorer countries to move more quickly towards the low carbon future that we need. All developed countries will need to be zero carbon by the second half of this century, and as 80% of carbon emissions come from cities such as Cambridge are going to have to make those cuts in emissions faster and more deeper than elsewhere. We want the City Council here to lead by example, to make sure that they get all their energy from 100% renewable sources, and that they cut their energy usage across the city. We're going to lead on creating a citywide partnership between the universities, businesses, community organisations and local government to lead a citywide scheme to bring down carbon emissions in the city. And we'll also do what we can locally on issues of national and global importance, such as tax avoidance. We've already got a motion passed at the City Council to make sure that public money only goes to companies that can account for their tax practices. We want to roll out a fair tax mark for companies operating in the Cambridge area to ensure that people are aware and give their business to companies that make sure they pay their fair share of tax. And we'll make sure that we do more to welcome refugees to the city and support them to integrate into the life in Cambridge. We've already over the last year implemented a lot of positive change in the city, as Natalie and Oscar said. We've done a lot to welcome refugees, we've made the City Council move to clamp down on tax avoidance, and we helped them divest on fossil fuel investments. But the people of Cambridge will need more strong representatives with the kind of bold, imaginative solutions that we've come up with in our 2016 manifesto. So I'd urge you to get out there, like Natalie said, and help us get those 8 or 9 votes that might mean we win more councillors this year around. Thank you very much.